tell them the 5 worst foods?
5 worst dog foods?
Yeah.
But there's so many bad dog foods. How do we narrow it down to just 5?
Well, let's start with the big offenders. Beneful. You see Beneful on TV, and you see the colorful ads and the bouncy.
It looks so pretty on the bag.
And me, it's
got all those vegetables on the bag.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Not a great food. Back in the old days, we'd watch dogs come in, and judging on their hyperactivity or reactivity on leash, we would try to guess what kind of food the dog was eating.
He could usually, he was like 90%, he could guess what food that dog was on.
And so Purina is not a very good dog food. They're trying to get better, but still, they use a lot of cheap fillers. Number 1 ingredient is corn. It would be like if you ate Taco Bell every day.
Pedigree was one of the early on dog foods. Pedigree and Alpo, foods like that, those were, from a long time ago, those were really popular with all the breeders and things like that, but those are really, really bad dog foods, or historically don't have good ingredients. A lot of dog foods in general don't have very good ingredients.
Yeah, basically they call them kennel rations, and a lot of dog food is, the manufacturers will buy byproducts of other industries, so stuff that normally get thrown away. So when it says poultry byproducts, that could be anything, any chicken, turkey, and it's any part of the bird. So it could be feet and bones and beaks.
An animal byproduct means any part of any animal.
So it could be roadkill. They could be buying roadkill from the county.
It sounds disgusting, but you really want to read the labels.
Yeah, read the labels, educate yourself. So one of the worst foods is one called Kibbles and Bits. And some of our younger audience won't remember Kibbles and Bits, but it was basically a dog running around singing Kibbles and Bits, Kibbles and Bits. And if you look at the food, it looks like Play-Doh, smells like formaldehyde, and it just has an acrid, just nasty smell. And I jokingly call it kibble and shits, because like it comes out the way it goes in, and there's almost zero nutritional value, and I just can't say enough about how bad Kibbles and Bits is for your dog.
So probably the one that we hear about most often, and I've always had a little bit of an issue with it, is foods like Science Diet. Science Diet is typically sold at veterinary offices, and a lot of vets prescribe Science Diet. I understand that foods like that are prescribed by vets are currently under a lot of scrutiny, because in order for something to be a prescription, it should legally have medication in it. And those types of prescribed dog foods don't actually have any medication in them. So it's really hard for them to qualify as a prescription. But you can't buy them without a vet's, written word.
Right.
Typically those foods are high in corn and fillers, and generally not very good for dogs at all. So there's a lot to be said about foods that you buy from your vet. Vets aren't even really, they'll tell you themselves, they're not really educated in nutrition or behavior, so don't ask your vet about either of those things.
And actually the makers of Science Diet give a lot of money and spend a lot of money at veterinary colleges. And so the vets are trained very early on with the Hills Brothers and Science Diet, and it really is, it's shameless money making. They're using inferior products and fear and the accreditation of a doctor's prescription to make you think that you need it. There's just better ways to medicate your dog.
Yeah, absolutely.
With real food, whole food.